Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Techie Tuesdays. I'm your host and coach S. Ravi Kumar. Techie Tuesdays is a weekly show where I answer to your tech and career related queries. So if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. Without further ado, let's get started with today's questions. Today's first question is asked by Rahul Kumar. He's asking, what should I choose between an AWS course or .NET? Rahul, you are comparing apple to oranges. There is no comparison between AWS course and .NET because AWS is basically a deployment platform. There are many services in AWS, but most of them are basically targeted towards deploying an application, and whereas .NET is completely a development platform. So it primarily depends on what is your background. If you are basically a networking guy, or if you have knowledge in networking, interest in handling hardware systems, then you should go with AWS certification, where you have to mainly handle the deployment side of applications. So maybe you want to become a DevOps person, or maybe you want to become a network engineer, or maybe basically you want to become a AWS deployment guy. So if you want to go into the deployment side of the things, you can go with the AWS course. But if you want to go into developing the application, if you want to learn about developing what web application, mobile application, or you want to develop a machine learning based application, so whatever you want to develop things, so for development you will use .NET. So there is no comparison. It basically depends on the background, that what you want to do. Do you want to become a networking person, or do you want to become a deployment guy? So then you can go for AWS course. If you want to become a software developer, then you should go with .NET course. If you ask me, I will always say that go for .NET. Next question is from Shubham Patania. He's asking, do you believe as C# now become platform independent, will it overtake Java language? Shubham, please don't start a war here. You know, people are very polarizing towards what language they work on. So basically these Java and C#, the Java versus C# debate is pretty much there in the industry since last I think 18-20 years, since the time Java has been launched, and since the time C# has been launched, because Java was launched earlier. Then after a few years, I think C# was launched, which was basically Microsoft's reply to Java people, or Microsoft reply to Java language, that they created their own language called C#. So because they are almost similar, however C# is much more versatile than Java. I have experience in C# only, so I would be able to tell more about C# only. So in my opinion, C# is much more versatile than Java. That's what I think. Okay, and this debate is there since last 18-20 years, C# versus Java, who will win. Now the situation which has came to a change, that C# is platform independent. Unlike earlier, it used to work only on Windows, but now C# is platform independent. It can work on Windows, Linux or Mac. Anywhere you can run C# applications, provided you are creating a web application. For desktop applications, still there are some caveats. So that's a challenge there. But I would say that it won't overtake Java language. Wherever Java has made their dominance, it will be there only. Because businesses don't run on whether how a language is evolved or how a language is changing. It basically runs on profit and loss. So if a company is using Java, a product developed using Java, and they are earning profit out of it, they are not facing any problems, they are not facing any difficulties, then they won't move to C#. So frankly, in my opinion, the adoption of C# will increase, but it won't be like that it will overtake Java. It was at par with Java, and it will be like at par with Java always. Maybe the adoption will increase, more and more people will use C#, but Java will still be there. Next question is from Supriya. She's asking, I'm good getting clients on freelancing and making double triple money each month. as compared to my day job? Is it good to quit a job and work as a freelancer full time? Supriya, you can go for full time freelancer job and quit your current day job. However, you have to calculate the pros and cons first. So the pros of a day job is that you will get paid leaves, whereas in freelance job you can't get paid leaves. Number two, in future, if you are planning to buy a house or you are planning to take a loan, you will be treated as a consultant from the companies, like by bank and by other financial lending institution. The rate of interest may not be high, but the amount they will give you as a loan, it may vary. Okay, so you need to calculate about all the pros and cons. You can't take a paid leave if you are working as a freelancer. So if you want a job security or kind of a recurring income, then you have to kind of stick to your day job. But if you are fine with forego that recurring income and you are fine with working with the money, like you said that you are making double or triple money each month, then in my opinion, you should, if you can, you should leave your day job. You should go as a full-time freelancer. But instead of, like, when you are getting double triple income, instead of exponentially increasing your expenditure, you should save some money so that you can take a break in between. Because if you keep on working continuously, you will going to get burned out. So in my opinion, sure, go ahead, leave your job, work full-time freelancer, but do your financial planning first. Do your financial planning in such a way that you can take regular breaks within every 3 months, 6 months, whatever is your break taking time. You know by yourself, by working in the industry or by working from your previous experiences, that when you require a break. So maybe every year, maybe every 6 months you need a break. So do your financial planning in such a way that you are able to take that break while doing your freelance work. If you can do that, then of course move to freelance. But if you can't do that, then I think you should do your freelance work side by side, even though it is illegal. But you can do your freelance work side by side and keep your day job if the workload is less, and like balance out the things so that you have some extra money as a cushion to support in difficult times. Next question is from Ananya Patel. She's asking, what are the skills needed to become a full stack .NET web developer? Ananya, currently there are 2 tracks available if you want to become a full stack .NET web developer. Number 1 is ASP.NET MVC based track, and number 2 is Blazor based track. In ASP.NET MVC based track, you need to know about ASP.NET MVC, Web API, ORMs like Entity Framework, Dapper, and then databases like SQL Server, MySQL, or SQLite. So you need to know about all these technology or how to use them integrated in a full stack web application. You should know how to create a full web application end to end using all these technologies, and then you can become a full stack web developer. Another one is if you want to become a Blazor full stack developer, where you need to know about Blazor, ASP.NET Web API, and then ORM is common like either Dapper or Entity Framework, and databases again, whether you can use MySQL, SQL Server, SQLite, or NoSQL databases like Cosmos DB. So you need to know about all these things. So the common things here is like Web API, ORM frameworks like Dapper or Entity Framework, and then databases. So whatever databases you want to use, you can use that. So these all skills are needed. Technology wise, I am talking about, these all skills are needed. Apart from that, you should also know about C# concepts like object oriented concepts, and you should also know about testing, TDD, because as a full stack developer you also have to write test cases, unit test cases for all these things. So you should know about any unit test case framework like NUnit or XUnit. Primarily XUnit is pretty much popular nowadays in open source applications, and then NUnit is also very popular, so you can go for NUnit or XUnit. or whatever framework you want to choose, some fakes or mocks type of frameworks to write unit test cases. So these are all things which are needed to become a .NET based full stack web developer. By the way, I have also created a video in Hindi about how to become .NET based full stack web developer. I will put that link in the description of this video along with this question, so you can view that video in Hindi and you can learn in detail. And from where you can learn this, the site is of course Microsoft Learn or Channel 9. From there you can learn about it. Also, you can subscribe to my channel and see my videos. I also create videos about how to do full stack development using .NET technologies. Next question is from Mridu Kutum. He's asking, how can I approach or get an internship in web development profile? I have an immense interest in this field and preparing myself to maximum. Either paid or unpaid, it wouldn't matter for me. Eagerly wanted to work. Please someone suggest or recommend me. Mridu, there are two very popular sites for getting internship. Number one is Internshala. In India, the most popular site for getting internship is Internshala. So you can visit Internshala, create your profile there, and then apply for internship jobs there. Most of their jobs are in web development, some are in mobile development also. So basically it's an job site for getting interns. And then another website is angellist.com. So you can go on angellist.com. Angellist.com is basically a website for getting jobs in startups. So you can check there and you can apply jobs as interns in the startup. So these are two websites where you can try it out. Another option I would suggest you would be to support open source. So you can support any open source web development project, any web development or any web application which is open source. You can support that web application and you can help them. If you are a .NET developer, I know only about .NET based projects more. So if you are a .NET developer, I can suggest you that you can contribute to an open source CRM or open source, not CRM, I would say CMS, sorry, open source CMS or content management system like Orchid is there. You can go on .NET Foundation website. So .NET Foundation website is there where you can get all the list of all the open source applications supported by .NET Foundation. You can contribute to any of the open source .NET based web application and you can get experience from there also. As you said that either unpaid, you are fine to work for unpaid. So in my opinion, instead of working unpaid for a company, better support any open source framework, because that way you will get a reputation also in the community and your visibility will increase in terms of professionalism. I would say that your professional visibility will increase in the community in whatever technology you are working on. So in my opinion, if you are planning to go for unpaid work, then better contribute to any open source web application. But if you want to go for paid work, then always go for paid internship via websites like AngelList or Internshala. Next question is from Varsha Sweetie. She's asking, my current company is offering the same package in a counter offer. I am feeling good in my current company as of now. Should I accept it? Varsha, if you are feeling good in your current company, then why did you leave your job or why did you apply in the next company? So first analyze the reasons of your leaving your current company, like the reasons which led you to give interviews for next company and applying job in next company and then planning to leave your current company. So first analyze those reasons, that are those reasons solved by this counter offer by your current company. If those reasons are solved, then of course stay in your current company, but make sure that those reasons are completely resolved or those issues are completely resolved which made you to look for another job. So if you are fine with, if the issue was just money and your company is giving the same amount of money, then I think you can stay in your current company, but don't expect that this will happen again when you put down your papers next time. So that is one thing. Any company gives opportunity only once to a person, if that too if the person is important. So that's one thing, that your company thinks that you are important and they have given you a counter offer. So that would be kind of one time chance, it won't be given you again. So make sure of that thing. Or another way is like, if you think that the problems which led you to find for another job and then put down your papers, so that your current company put that counter offer. So if you think that those issues are not resolved, then in my opinion you should better join the new company rather than sticking to the current company. If your issues are just money and those has been resolved, then it's fine, I think. And yes, this time if you are staying, you should make sure that you stay for a longer period of time, at least 2 years or 1 year at least, because after 1 year if you still again put down the paper, next time the company will not stop you. So make sure of the problems which led you to find another job. If those problems are solved, then of course stay in this company. If those problems are not solved, then probably it's better to leave in a good note and join a new company. Next question is from Saurav Saha. He's asking, how can I manage freelancing along with a regular job? Saurav, first of all, check the laws of your company or talk to your HR and see your offer letter or appointment letter of your current company, and you will find out that it's illegal to work two jobs, or it's illegal to do freelance job along with a regular job, at least in 90% of the companies in India. So even if you want to do freelance job along with your current job, it primarily depends on how much time you have. If you can spend 2 to 3 hours more after your regular work hours and 3 to 5 hours on weekends, then of course you can work, or you can manage freelance job. You can find out freelance job on websites like Freelancer, Upwork, Guru. There are many websites where you can join as a freelancer and find for freelance job, and then you can work on those freelance job. If you have 2-3 hours extra, and you can spend 2-3 hours extra and 5-6 hours extra on weekends. However, it is not advisable to do freelance along with your regular job. In my opinion, instead of working as a freelance developer, you should either continue doing your regular job and support open source application to create your brand in the community. I know I sound like a broken record, where I'm always asking or telling people to build their brand, to build their online presence, but this is what the future is. So you have to build your personal brand. So in my opinion, you should do your regular job, and apart from that, you should contribute to the open source applications in your whatever technology or whatever field you are working. You should contribute to the community works in that. Maybe join a local meetup group where you can give sessions on what you know, or what the technology you know. So you can do online sessions, you can give online webinars, or you can probably write a blog about it, or you can create YouTube videos about it. So because these all things will not pay you money, but they will build your brand. You will get a recognition that you are an expert in this particular thing, which will help you in getting a better job. For these things, your company will never raise any issue, and you can build your own brand also. But if you do freelance work, if your company find out, they can fire you tomorrow. So rather than looking for freelance job, in my opinion, look long term and work on building your personal brand. Next question is from Ashok Ramesh. He's asking, I have 6 years of experience in front-end development. I'm going to change company. Can I ask for permanent work from home? Ashok, yes, of course, you can ask for permanent work from home job. There is no harm in asking, at least. It will primarily depend on the project you are joining and the company policies where you are joining, of course. So asking for work from home is just like asking for a better raise in salary. It's kind of a working condition nowadays. So you can of course talk to your new or next employer and ask him that okay, I want to work from home only. If your job can be done by work from home, and if the company has the policies, I think in COVID situation, in the lockdown, during lockdowns, most of the companies have moved towards work from home culture, and they are allowing more and more people to work from home in their companies, unless and until it's a client requirement or office specific project. So in my opinion, yes, you should talk to the HR while joining your next company that your preference would be to work from home permanently. Next question is from Rakesh Jaiswal. He's asking, what is the efficient way to gain expertise in C# and JavaScript? Is there any schedule or approach which will help? Rakesh, in my opinion, just like maths, the best approach or schedule to learn programming language like C# or JavaScript is by doing, or by practicing, or by coding. That's the reason 90% of the courses or course creators use 30-70 ratio for creating their courses, like 30% theory and 70% practical. And it happens in all the courses. And what they teach is to create a full-fledged application, or to create any kind of application, maybe a simplest to-do list, by learning a concept or by learning a language. So in my opinion, the best approach for you would be to pick any course either from Udemy or from Pluralsight, whatever cheaper or whatever you can afford. There are many playlist courses on YouTube also, so you can pick any playlist course. If you don't have money, you can take a free playlist from YouTube and then follow along. So practice it. So as much as you can practice, you can only learn by practicing. Any programming language, you can only learn by practicing. So the best approach for you would be to learning by practice. Next question is from Pratik Jain. He's asking, is it crazy that I want to learn a lot of different skills like stand-up comedy, acting, negotiation, sales and marketing, and also become better at software development? I am 21 years old and working at Dell as software engineer. Pratik, no, it's not crazy. It's completely normal. You are just an enthusiastic individual who wants to try different things and wants to learn new or different things. So that's completely fine, provided you have time and provided it doesn't affect your regular day job, then you can go for it. I think you should just make a plan. Probably you can make a plan for learning stand-up comedy next year in 2021. The year after that you can learn acting. The year after that you can learn negotiation skills. The year after that you can learn sales and marketing. Don't learn everything at once along with your job. So that is the only suggestion I will give. However, it's completely normal. You should give it a try. As always, many people say that give at least 1,000 hours or 10,000 hours to a thing before you get bored of it, or before you don't get any benefit out of it. So I don't know the actual proverb, what is it like, but in my opinion, yes, you should give it a try, but give it a try in a planned way and make sure that it doesn't interfere with your software engineer job. So give it a try, of course. So these were my answers to your tech and career related queries in this episode of Techie Tuesdays. If you want your questions to be featured in next episode of Techie Tuesdays, you can DM me your questions with hashtag Techie Tuesdays on any social media platform. All my social media handles are Techie Rathor. I hope you like my answers, and if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. So until my next video, take care, bye bye.